Polite inquiries, Lords, England, India, day 1. Curran, is KL Rahul undroppable now as an opener, or is it back to being a middle order contender when Shubman Gill returns? This one's easy. No one's dropping Rahul now, not from that opening slot.
I agree, there shouldn't be. He's been absolutely terrific. Terrific in the first test, terrific again now. Who knows what happens with Pujara moving forward. It's great to have options.
Rahul's there now. I mean, no one's dropping him for the rest of the England series. Shubman's anyway not back. And then when you go to India, surely he'll make some runs there. So he's there. He's your test opener for now. Sudarshan, what is it about Rahul's and Lords? Yeah, I mean, Dravid got one towards the end, didn't he, in his last tour, 2011. Shocking series.
2011, I think, was that his fourth go? But I do think that comparison's valid, because I thought that today KL drove just so sweetly, so perfectly, and his defence could keep out the rain.
Ben Rigby, was today's decision at the toss Root's NASA Brisbane 0203 moment, or just a complete lack of faith in his top order on a murky day?
I don't think it was either. Look, I would have batted, but I think that it was a reasonable decision to bowl first. I thought the ball did loads. I thought England bowled okay. I've seen them bowl better. But I actually thought mainly the big thing is that India's batting was fantastic. I thought the opening partnership was absolutely top class. And sometimes you just got to say well done and not judge by results. I don't honestly think he was just scared to expose his top three. It's not like he's not going to have to do it at some stage.
Sean, is COVID to blame for all of England's ills, as Tom Harrison suggests?
Well, no, of course it isn't. If anything, it's helped them because it's given them a bit of an excuse. I mean, obviously it's very difficult to deal with, but it has had no bearing on the schedule. No bearing at all. And all the people right now saying, oh, it's a bit tricky that England don't have any red ball cricket leading into a major test series. Well, sorry, it's been going this way for a few years. Where were you? You cannot have it both ways. If you want a window for white ball cricket, that's what you're prioritising. It's not about the 100 either, by the way. It's not just about blaming the 100. If you played a 50-over competition now, if you played a T20 competition now, if you play anything in a window, you're prioritising that, and what's not in the window suffers. You can't play in windows. You cannot play in windows. We're going to learn this one day.
Ani, who should replace Pujara if he gets dropped? Now, firstly, that's a massive if. I don't see the judgment coming down on Pujara until the end of this series. So that's a massive if. But we've got Mayank Agarwal in the reserves who could play at 3. We've got Bihari, who's the next test batter trying to get in. They've called in Prithvi Shaw. They've called in Surya Kumar Yadav. I still don't think we'll see him dropped on this tour at least.
Well, I hope we don't. I don't think it's that long ago since we saw him play a couple of really good innings at the end of the series against Australia. Batting top 3 in England. It's about as hard as it gets right now, but I think he's a really good player and I'd be loath to move on from him too quickly. What is he, 33? I think there's more to come.
Being outside cricket, has Jack Leach run over Joe Root's dog?
Poor Jack Leach. I mean, so the question for those who maybe don't pick up on that is, Jack Leach has been in lots of England squads and isn't playing. Sometimes he's been left out for Joe Root earlier in the summer, who has played as England's spinner effectively. And in this game, he was left out for Moeen, who wasn't in the squad, 3 days ago. So I think that's really unfortunate. And I do think he's a really good cricketer who has had things tough throughout his career. All those things having said, I think it was the right decision to pick Moeen, and I thought he bowled really, really well.
Unusual Alif. Should the ECB appoint Elon Musk as the head of the Make New Andersons project?
I think that is a better idea than having a 100-ball tournament, which will supposedly create another generation of Test cricket players. It's no more ridiculous. Call Elon. I think he's on the moon.
Ankit Daga. How long before people start calling Sam Curran a bits and pieces cricketer? May I just preface this by saying that is not a derogatory term, and I speak on behalf of my good friend, Mr. Manjrekar. Over to you, George.
He is still a very young fella, but he was underwhelming again with the ball. I think he got hit for 6 boundaries and 12 balls at one stage. I mean, ouch. And he doesn't. He's never scored 100. At sort of professional level. Yeah, bits and pieces. I mean, it just got to be a bit careful not to compare everyone to Ben Stokes.
Will Cooling, is it true that George has bought Colin Graves a skateboard?
It is, and I've bought him skateboarding lessons with Jared.